Hello and welcome to everybody who's watching live on Facebook this morning. Happy Friday, and hello to everyone who is watching the replay, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And today we are going to play with a couple fun folds. So I'm going to create a couple cards using simple fun folds. And I like to try to keep it around 30 to 40 minutes max, just because I know everybody's busy. It's Friday, you want to get on with your day. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Remember to comment or share this post to get entries to win next week's prize. Next week's prize is this little bundle of cards here. I will send them off to one lucky winner. You get one ticket for commenting. For each comment, you can comment as many times as you'd like. And that is commenting whether you're live or whether you're watching the replay, and commenting on Facebook or YouTube. Anytime between today, which is June 29th, and July, whatever next Thursday is. I should have checked the date. July 5th, I believe it is. So commenting anytime between that time, you get an entry. And like I said, no limits to the number of entries that you get or comments that you make. And if you share this video, whether you share it on Facebook or share it on YouTube, you get 5 entries for that share. All right, so let's go ahead and draw the winner from last week. So last week's winner will get this package, and I posted a tutorial on how to make this card on my blog earlier this week. Okay, and the winner is Kim L. All right, so I will contact her and get her mailing address. All right, let's set that aside here. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip you down just so that we can get on with the crafting part. I have one other thing to talk to you before we get started, but I'm going to flip the camera down, so just bear with me for a moment. Turn on my lights so we get less shadow. Okay, there's just a bit of delay on my screen here. I just want to make sure that I've got everything lined up so everybody can see what's going on. Okay, let's move this a bit more. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about, is that better? Okay, there we go. So I wanted to talk to you about an upcoming class that I'm offering. So this is an in-person class, but you can also get the kit to go. Anyone in Canada can participate. I will send you a link to a video that shows you how to do these. And these, the class is being held on, sorry, I'm just reaching for my information here. Thursday, July 12th, you can attend at 9:30 a.m. or 7 p.m. So if you're in Sherwood Park or Edmonton and you want to attend, you're more than welcome to. The class fee is either a $20 class fee or a minimum $35 purchase placed in class. And we'll be creating 4 kind of little fun interactive folds. So I thought I'd share those cards with you today. So this is the first one, and it opens up, the butterfly wings fold up, and it opens like that. Isn't it cute? So that's the first card. And like I said, you can participate in this class to go, and you'll get all the supplies mailed to you, and a link to the video that shows you how to create all of the cards. And that's the other one. That's the second one. And then this is the third one. And the fourth one just opens like that. So they all kind of feature a little bit of a different fun fold. They're all just standard size. They fit in a regular medium size envelope. Yeah, so it's super, super fun. Let's see here. If you want to participate in the class to go, then it would be a $20 fee, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get crafting today. We're gonna make 2 fun fold cards. So let me grab my scrap paper. And if you make a purchase, a $50 purchase using this hostess code between now, June 29th and July 12th, you will get half a package of these gorgeous colored doilies. So they come in Old Olive, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, and Grapefruit Grove. Beautiful, beautiful doilies. Okay, so that's the purchase incentive that I have going on for the next couple weeks. All right, now let me show you kind of what I've decided to do here today. So I knew I wanted to focus on fun folds because I always love fun folds, and I knew that I had a fun fold class coming up, so I always like to show extra samples of featuring fun folds in class as well. All right, but the other thing that I wanted to do is I have been playing with this Garden Impressions DSP. So this DSP here, I actually don't have too much left of it. Now, for those of you who know me, you'd be surprised because this is not a paper pack that is my usual style. It is so florally, and I'm not usually a florally person, but I have been having so much fun with this DSP. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm getting a little older. Maybe my tastes are changing. I don't know what it is, but good morning, Shara. Oh, hi, Landra. Oh, you like the dragonfly card? That's one of my favorites too. It's so pretty. So this DSP, this is all I have left. This is a package of 48 sheets, and this is all I have left. I have been having a ton of fun with this DSP. And you'll see I've already got next week's Facebook Live planned, and I'm focusing on this DSP again. We've got a great promotion coming up starting, well, we've actually got 2 promotions coming up starting in July. July 1st, July 31st, we've got a paper promotion. So a selection of our papers will be on sale. You buy 3 packages and you get 1 for free. So, and it pretty much qualifies, I don't have my catalog handy, but it's basically all of the $15 paper packs, except on the bottom of one of the pages, there's the color collection paper packs. Those are excluded. But any of the other $15 ones qualify. So you purchase 3 packages and you get 1 package for free. You can purchase multiples of one of them or 2 of them, or you can mix and match. All right, so all of next month, all of my Facebook Lives will be focused around patterned paper. So I'm really excited about that. So each week I will focus on a different paper pack, and my blog posts during the week leading up to Friday's post or Friday's Facebook Live will be featuring different projects using that same paper pack that I'm focusing on for Friday's Facebook Live. All right, so be sure to check those out. So the other challenge that I issued myself when I was creating today's project, sorry, I kind of go off on tangents here, was to try to come up with some more masculine projects using this paper pack because it is quite florally, but I always like to be able to show versatility in a product. So let me show you what I came up with. Okay, so this is the first card. This is called, I'm gonna call it a standing triple panel card. So, and it opens up like that. So it folds so that it fits in a regular medium-sized envelope, and it stands up like this. All right, so basically when it stands up, that's what it looks like. Okay, so let me show you how quick and easy this is to create. Let's set this up here. Let's get my pieces here. All right, so does anybody have any fun plans for the weekend? Sorry, I'm just gonna up so I can see some comments here. All right. Okay, so let's set this aside. So I am starting with a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm gonna pull in my paper cutter, and I'm gonna open up the flap because I'm gonna need that. Okay, so now I'm going to score it. I'm going to line it up with the 2-inch mark, and I'm going to score it. So I'm going to use my light colored blade and give it a score. Then I'm going to line it up 3 1/8 and score. And then I'm going to line it up at 5 3/8. Score again. And then the last one will be 6 1/2. And if you have the Stampin' Up! Cutter, 6 1/2 is this line right in the center, right there. Okay, so now I've got all my score marks. I'll set this aside. Okay, so now I am going to fold. So let me think about this. Okay, so this is our middle panel. So these two are going to be folded like mountain folds. Okay, so I'm going to fold it like this, use my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. And then turn it over, do the same thing. So now it looks like this. Okay, now these ones are going to be valley folds, so I'm going to fold them up. All right, so there's the fold. How simple was that? So simple. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start decorating this card. Now I chose this pattern because, there you go, it's florally on one side, but because I'm working on something that's a little bit more masculine, I chose to use this, which is just, it almost looks like just like a paintbrush. Just, you took paintbrush and paint and just kind of painted on a canvas. So it looks really cool. I love this pattern actually. So these two pieces measure 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and you'll need 2 of them because they are going to go on these panels here. So let's go ahead and stick those down. So, and again, I'm using Fast Fuse, which we don't carry anymore, but I'm going through my stock and using it up. You can use any adhesive, Tombow, Snail, whatever your adhesive of preference is. So I'm putting them in the center of these outer panels, and you'll have about 1/8 of an inch border. Just like this. Okay, so that part is decorated. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a piece of Whisper white cardstock. I've actually got 2 pieces. This measures 2 inches by 5 1/4, and this is going to be for this panel. And then I put a piece on the back so that you can write your message, your greeting on the back. Okay, but you'll notice, hopefully you can see this on camera, but it's got some texture to it. So we're going to bring in the Big Shot and add some texture. Okay, so that guy out of the way. So I am going to use a new folder, and it is called the Subtle folder. And the picture in the catalog does not do it justice. It doesn't look like much at all. So this is what it looks like. Basically, it adds it makes the cardstock look like it's textured cardstock. And this is one of our dynamic impressions folders. So I'm using the Big Shot platform. I'm putting this down. This is one of the thicker folders, so we only need 1 clear mat on top. So I'm just going to make sure, because it's a 6 by 6 folder, I want to make sure that it's not hanging off the sides. And I'm going to feed that through. All right. So now, can you see that texture that it added? It's so nice. I love the look of it. So it's just a subtle pattern. Put this back. Get that out of the way. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to pull in this piece that I just added the texture to, and I am using a stamp set called Happy Birthday Gorgeous. So this is not a brand new stamp set. It was new to the catalog last year, but it's one that I like because I love the greetings. So there's some nice sized greetings, but then there's also some smaller greetings that you can use as well. And the balloons are fun, and of course the flowers are okay as well. All right, I think I've got all my images on stamp or on blocks. So I need the It's Your Day, and the Happy Birthday. And the colors that I've chosen to use are Night of Navy to coordinate with my cardstock, of course. And then I chose to use Balmy Blue. Now the blue that's actually coordinate in this cardstock or in this paper pack that coordinates is actually Pacific Point. But I didn't care for the navy with the Pacific Point, and because the Pacific Point is so minimal in here, like it's not a predominant color, I chose to use a different blue. So I chose Balmy Blue. This is one of our new colors. It is part of the Subtles collection. And the other promotion, remember I had mentioned earlier that there are 2 promotions in July. The other promotion is a fabulous promotion. If you are looking, whether you're just new to Stampin' Up or new to stamping, or you're looking to replace all of your ink pads with the new ink pads, Stampin' Up is offering a recruiting promotion in July. So from July 1st to 31st, when you purchase the starter kit, which is a fabulous deal in and of itself, you get to choose $165 worth of product, and that can be any product from the catalog. You get to choose that. It's completely customizable, and you only pay $135, no shipping and no GST. So that is a fabulous deal. Right there, just that alone, you're saving over $50 on the shipping and the GST and the product that you get for free. But what Stampin' Up is doing for the month, if you purchase the starter kit, they are throwing in your choice of color collection of ink pads, which with shipping and GST, it's over $106 worth. So it's a great deal. So you can choose either the Subtles collection, which is 10 ink pads, the Regals collection, the Neutrals collections, those are both 10 ink pads, or you can choose both of the in-color collections, which each in-color collection is 5 ink pads, so you'll get a total of 10 ink pads. So that is a fabulous deal. And of course, just like always, whenever you purchase the starter kit, there is absolutely no obligation to continue. But if you choose to continue, you get 20% on a minimum of 20% on all of your future purchases. So if that's something that you're interested in, just let me know and I can shoot you some more information on that or send you the link to sign up. Hey, Donna, welcome. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and get started here, or continue on, I guess. So I'm going to use the Night of Navy, and I'm going to ink up the It's Your Day and stamp it. I love the grid paper so that I can kind of line it up so that it's straight. Stamp that down. And depending on the embossing folder that you're using, sometimes you want to stamp before you emboss, but with this textured embossing folder, it adds a little bit of texture, but it's not so much that that you don't get a nice even impression. You can see that there. Okay, now I'm going to take my Balmy Blue and stamp the Happy Birthday. So what does everybody have planned for Canada Day? Anything fun? We haven't decided what we're going to do. Sherwood Park always has this great, they've got a parade, and then they've got a pancake breakfast and all these great activities out at Broadmoor Lake. So we might do that. I'm just not sure what my kids have planned for the weekend. They're kind of at that age where they kind of go off and do their own thing. So we're trying to figure out what they're doing first, and then we'll decide. Okay, so now I've got some coordinating cardstock, and I'm going to give you a little tip. Where's my balloon here? Okay. So now this is the Balloon Bouquet Punch, and it's got 2 images on here. The balloon in the Happy Birthday Gorgeous, or actually both balloons in the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set, are the small balloon. So when you only need one of those, what you can do to conserve cardstock is if you flip it over, you can see this is the balloon that I want. So what I want to do is I'm going to stamp my image upside down on the right side of my cardstock. And that way when I go to line it up, I'm not punching into extra cardstock and wasting it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to stamp it in Balmy Blue. So I'm going to use the one with all the speckles on it. And I'm going to stamp that upside down there. And then let's just stamp this off a couple times. And then I'm going to ink it up in the Night of Navy. Do the same thing on the Night of Navy cardstock. And then I'm going to do the Hooray using the Balmy Blue on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, so that's all the stamping that I need to do for this card. So I'm going to close up my ink pads and get them out of the way. Now I will slide them in, line it up and punch. See, and no wasted cardstock there. So that's a little tip for you. If you've got one of these builder punches, there are several other tips that you can do as well, especially with the Stamparatus, with the builder punches, so that you can conserve cardstock if you're doing multiple images as well. But that will be for another Facebook Live. Okay. All right. So now I've got my 3 balloons. And I'll set this stuff aside. I'm going to pull in my white baker's twine. And what I want to do is I want to join these two. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the side here. And then this one I want to pop up using dimensionals. Or this one. Okay. All right, so I've got my cluster of balloons. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on all 3 of these. And I'm going to put some baker's twine on here and trim it for all 3 of the balloons. Okay, and then what I want to do, I want to clean that up a little bit. First of all, I don't want that adhesive to be sticky, so I'm going to punch another balloon in navy and another one in balmy blue, just to cover over the back so it doesn't stick my card together when I stick it in the envelope, because there's a little bit of extra adhesive on there. Okay, so now I'll add a little bit more adhesive across those 2, and I'm just going to line my balloon up like that. And like that. And actually, let's do a little white one too. And this guy I will pop up using dimensionals. I'll just put a little bit of adhesive actually on the top here and a dimensional right there. Let's use, it's pretty small, let's use a mini dimensional. I love these little guys. Okay, so we'll stick that on there. Actually, it looks like I might need a double layer because it's a little bit higher. Okay, and then put a little bit of adhesive on here and line that up like that. So now it looks good on both the front and the back. And I'm going to take one more piece of twine and I'm going to tie a bow so I can hold all of the strings together. Like so. All right, and I will trim this guy. The rest I will trim once I have it stuck on my card so I can figure out how how long I need it. Okay, so let's bring this in. We'll stick this panel on. It's gonna go right in the center, and again, you'll have about 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. Now you could add some more patterned paper down here. I chose not to, just because when the card is folded and when the card is standing up, you don't really see that anyways, so I didn't feel that it was really needed. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of adhesive on the side. Line this up. Let's push this down here. And then I'm gonna take a mini glue dot and just stick it right behind where that bow is to hold the string in place. And when I need to peel off my mini glue dots, I love to use my paper piercer because then it will allow me to position it right where I want it. So then I've got the strings stuck down, and you know what? I think I'm gonna leave those long. I kind of like them long. So there you go. So a quick and easy fold, and I turned that super florally paper into a nice masculine card, or even a juvenile card as well. So isn't that cute? All right, so hello Shirley. Let's move on to the next card. Okay, again, attempting to create more masculine cards using for those of you who are just joining us, using the Garden Impressions DSP. So that's a super florally paper, not my usual style, but I was saying that I have had a ton of fun playing with this DSP, and you'll see on next week's Facebook Live, we'll be creating with the florally side of the DSP. So this card here, I don't know if you could call it a fancy fold, but it does open a bit different than a regular card. So this flap opens up, and then this opens up. So I'm calling it a fun fold or a fancy fold. All right, so let's go ahead and create this one. Okay. So let me grab my pieces here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna need to repeat some of the stamping. So I'm gonna clean my stamps first. Okay. So I'm gonna use our new chamois, which I absolutely love. Who already owns this? If you don't, you need it. It is awesome. What I do is I always keep a piece of scrap paper, and I make sure I get all the excess ink off first. And you will never get all of the ink off. There will always be remnants. See, look at that. But that's what the chamois is great for. It gets all those remnants off of there. Okay. All right. So let's set that aside and grab the pieces for the next card. So we're gonna need some white cardstock and the pieces here. Okay, so I am starting with a piece of Pacific Point. So I chose to use this paper. So again, super florally on this side, and then almost like those brush marks that kind of look on the other side. This piece measures 4 by 4. So because the paper pack that I'm working with is 6 by 6, so I can only get 1 card from this one out of 1 piece of DSP. But if you're using 12 by 12 DSP, then you can get many more. All right, and then I've got a piece of Pacific Point cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 9 3/4. And I'm gonna bring in my paper cutter, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 inches. So again, using the lighter blade, I guess it's not a blade, but the lighter, whatever this thing is. And then I've got another piece of Pacific Point cardstock. This is going to be for this little flap piece. This measures 1 1/4 by 4 inches, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. Okay, all right. So now I am going to take, let's fold this first. Okay, so I'm going to take my DSP and add this to the front panel. So the shorter piece obviously is the front of the card. right. So we've got that. And then I've got a piece of 4 inch by 5¼ inch piece of Whisper White cardstock, and that's gonna go inside. But before we stick that down, we want to take this little flap, we're gonna fold this. Use your bone folder, make it nice and crisp. We're gonna add adhesive here, and then this is gonna go in behind like this. And then we can stick it to the inside of the cardstock, or the card. Okay, so now I can add adhesive. And stick it to the inside. I almost need to stick my grid paper down. It keeps slipping around. It's kind of driving me crazy. Oh, Shara says, this makes me excited to use this DSP. It was in your last order. That's awesome. And you haven't used it yet. So there you go. Yeah, you definitely want to watch next week. And be sure to check my blog posts too, because there'll be other samples all week next week using this DSP. And I post Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. Okay, so there is our card base. So now we're going to go ahead and decorate it. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and pre-cut the soft sea foam circle. This is I believe it's the 3rd largest stitched shape framelit. And I chose soft sea foam because it's this background color in this DSP. And then I've got a piece of shaded spruce cardstock. I'm going to punch it with the Starburst punch. And set that aside. We don't need that anymore. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday greeting. Again, all the stamps that I'm using are from the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set. So I'm going to use Pacific Point, and I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday with that. Okay. And then I'm going to use the little, like I said, one of the reasons I love this stamp set is because they've got bigger greetings and then smaller greetings. So I'm going to use the To You, and I need a block. So we don't need, what did I stamp on the inside? Okay, we don't need the Happy Birthday anymore. I can use this block. Okay. So I've got the To You, and I'm going to stamp it using the Shaded Spruce ink. And I'm going to do it just kind of off to the side, just like that. While I've got my ink pads out, I'm going to stamp the inside. So on the inside, I did It's Your Day. Let's see, what color did I do it? In blue, I think. It's Your Day. Well, let's not do it upside down. And normally I tell my customers, do all your stamping before you start assembling. That way you can flip over the cardstock. And look at me, I've stuck it down already. Okay, thank goodness they're photopolymer, so can't go wrong with photopolymer stamps, right? Okay, and then I need, let's give this guy a clean because I need the word celebrate. So we will take the To You off and grab the celebrate. And that is going to be done in the Shaded Spruce. And again, off to the right. There we go. Okay, so this part is done. Now we need to do our balloons. Actually, let's punch this out first. So I'm going to use my 2-inch circle punch and punch this out, and this is the perfect size for just being a layer on top of that Starburst punch. right, so we've got that. And then let's get rid of this because we're gonna need some balloons. Okay, so now remember my tip from last time. I'm going to take my balloon and stamp it upside down on the right side of my cardstock. Just like that, and that way it will waste very little, if any. I think I've had too much coffee today. My hands are shaking. There we go. Okay, and then I need, oh, actually, I think I need 2 of these. Okay, let's stamp another one. And then I'm going to punch out 2 solid shaded spruce. Balloons as well. Okay, so now I think I have all my pieces. Now I can start to assemble. All right, so this guy is going to go flat onto my starburst. And then I'm going to pop it up using dimensionals onto my soft seafoam circle. I love this soft seafoam color, it's so pretty. Okay, so that's gonna go right in the center there. And then this is going to go right on here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive here. The reason why I'm doing it here and not on the back of this piece is because I don't want to add too much adhesive and have it stick my card closed. All right, so look straight, stick that down so now it opens nicely. All right, so now I'm going to layer my balloons. So this guy is gonna go behind here like this, and then that's gonna go on there like that. So I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of adhesive here, like that, and stick that down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on the other one. Remember how I kind of made the back clean? So I'm going to take a dimensional, and I believe I have to do a double, do I need a double layer? No, I think I'm good with just a single layer. Okay, so I've got a couple dimensionals there. I'm going to stick my green one down first, and then my white one, I'll add a little bit of adhesive to this as well, just so it sticks to the back of the green one. And there we go. So now it looks clean on both sides. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is just add a little white bow with some baker's twine. I use baker's twine so much. I just can't seem to have enough. I don't have enough white and black baker's twine. It's just perfect for just adding a little something. It doesn't leave a bunch of bulk. It's just perfect. Okay. And there we go, it's done. Pretty cute, hey? So there's a couple ideas for you using the Garden Impressions DSP and how you can turn them into more masculine projects. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Just a couple reminders before we say goodbye. First of all, remember that starting July 1st until July 31st, we've got 2 promotions. So there is the paper buy 3, get 1 free DSP promotion. So you'll be able to purchase any of the $15 paper packs except the color collection packs. So buy 3 of those and you get to choose 1 for free. And like I said, every week I will be focusing on a different paper pack for the month of July and my weekly videos. Be sure to join me next Friday. I think you will love the projects for next Friday. I love them. I'm really happy with the way they turned out. And then we also have the recruiting promotion. So the free set of 10 ink pads with the purchase of a starter kit. So that is a fabulous deal. That's an extra $106, over $106 added value to the cost of the starter kit. So whether you want to replace your ink pads and get all new ones, or if you are just starting out and you want to build your collection, or if you just want to pick up those extra ink pads, if you just want to add to your collection, it's a great time to take advantage of that. And like I said, there's no obligation with the purchase of the starter kit. You can choose to continue on or not, but like I said, if you do, then you get a minimum 20% discount on all your future purchases. And you know that demonstrators, beginning in August, we can actually pre-order from the holiday catalog. I know it's crazy to start thinking about the holidays, but that's a perk for being a demonstrator. So August 1st, we'll be able to pre-order. So can you imagine having a 20% discount on your holiday product that you want to purchase? So it is a great time to become a demonstrator. All right, and I'd love to have you join my team. I have a Facebook group. We do our meetings through Zoom, so we do them online so that you can participate no matter where you are in Canada. All right, so I hope you have a fabulous weekend. If you're in Canada, have a great Canada Day, and I look forward to crafting with you next week. Take care.